All right, guys. Hope everybody's having a good weekend out there in Gator Country. I just want to shoot a quick video for the upcoming recruits that are going to be making announcements this month. On the 28th, you got Jakeem Jackson. I believe they're Osceola kids. You got Derek LeBlanc, and then the defensive linemen that they're all teammates making decisions from the same area. I don't think the Gators get all three, but I do think we go 2 for 3 with Derek LeBlanc, defensive lineman, 4 star. I believe he's a 9.6 on the composite. And then Jakeem, he's a cornerback, be a really good defensive back in the class. He's also a 4 star. I think he's a 90 rated 4 star, so on the lower end, but a good, really good pickup, underrated guy. So I do think we add those two to the class later this month. Lucas Simmons is July 11th. I also think the Gators got a really good shot at him. I'm picking the Gators as of right now, but that could go either way. Florida State's hard after him, but Florida State's recruiting has been absolutely trash lately. They've gotten a few kids, but their class is terrible. It's not that great. Um, so I don't think he goes Florida State. I actually think he may pick another school outside of that. There's some others involved there, but I do think the Gators got a really good shot with him. You've also got Andy Jean coming up. He just dropped a top five with Florida in it. It was a graphic he made. Florida was down at the bottom in the middle of the other schools with A&M, Bama, and some other schools in the mix. But he had Florida in the middle and then had the word football underneath Florida. If you want to get into like conspiracy theories and stuff, I do think that he might have done that on purpose because I think he's a Gator lean. A lot of people are talking about him committing today, so I think he could pop at any moment, any day now. And I do pick the Gators to land Andy Jean. He's also a 4 star wide receiver. A lot of people have compared him to Amari Cooper. He's got the same build, same type of play style, so I really like him as a prospect. This wide receiver class is going to be epic. They were completely trying to flip and turn over this wide receiver room at Florida. It's severely lacking. It's one of the position groups I'm most concerned about next year. I do believe the running game is going to be very strong at Florida next year. I do believe the offensive line is going to be a strength. Running back, quarterback, wide receiver is going to be a weakness. Hopefully, Anthony Richardson can make them look better than they actually are. I also think defensive back, safety, and corner is going to be a strength of Florida next year. Linebacker, I think, is going to be average. Defensive line is absolutely going to be a weakness. I think we're going to be really good off the edge, but really weak up the middle. So look for us to maybe get gashed a little bit in the run game here and there. Hopefully our linebackers and the other guys have to play up in the box a little bit more to stop the run. But I do believe we've got corners that can play on an island and play man. So I think we'll be okay. I do think we'll get hurt in the run game some, but we'll be okay, guys. I think there's another prospect besides Lucas Simmons that's a little sooner than that. DeQuavia Sori's another wide receiver. As of right now, he's still a take. I think they should kind of wait things out and see what happens with Andy Jean. I think they might even take both kids because Sori could go both ways between safety or wide receiver. But as of right now, that both of those kids are takes in the class. Both 4 star wide receivers rate almost the same. I like Andy Jean a little better, but man, I love Sori's game too. I think he's a big body receiver that can contribute. So our wide receiver class is going to be huge. Again, I think they will take both of them because I believe now this class is probably going to be over 25 players. And the fact that the guys are, we have a 4 star average and 90, almost a 9.1 rating at this point, and we're in the top 20 as of right now. A few more commitments, we're easily in the top 15. And the class is only half full, guys. So if we fill out the rest of this class, and if we take a large class, there's really actually a good shot. It could be somewhere between 6th and 9th based on the type of rating the recruits have as of right now. But yeah, I think these guys still got a senior year to play. A lot of guys are underrated coming out of summer and lower ranked than they will be because a lot of these guys the staff's really high on. And I think the recruiting rankings are a little behind still. With COVID and all that, 2020, a lot of these kids' rankings aren't as accurate as they should be. So I do believe a lot of our kids are going to get some nice bumps in their senior years, which could be enough to push this class into the top 5. Am I expecting that at this point? No, I'm still thinking probably somewhere between 6th and 9th, which is a huge improvement off where we were thinking, a few weeks back. But I do believe there's some elite players out there like Mazzell, wide receiver. Look for him to pop any minute now or any day now. I think Mazzell's going to be in the class. So you're looking at 6 to 7 wide receivers in this class, and that tells you what the staff thinks about the current roster. So Mazzell, defensive line class is going to be really good. Big defensive line class, several defensive linemen in the class, all really good elite prospects. That also tells you something about the defensive line depth on the roster. I mean, you look what they're recruiting the hardest, it's receiver and defensive line. Defensive back, they're a little lighter on that. I think they're going for the elite guys on the cornerback side of it. Kermani Mclean, still the jewel of the class. He's going to be our 5-star stud. The leader of the class, I do believe. He'll pop sometime later in the fall. And then you've also got Jordan Costell, big-time 4-star safety, 4-star guy, committing October 1st. He's a Gator lock, guys. He's committed to the staff silently. He's been boosting this class up every day, tweeting, promoting other players, retweeting stuff, talking about the class like as if he's already in it. So y'all can go ahead and pencil him in. He's a Gator all day, every day. Been super supportive. He hasn't really talked about any other schools except for Florida. Named us his leader. So Jordan Costell's in the class. So you're looking at Kermani as our cornerback. Jordan Costell is another safety. This class is going to be really good. Billy Napier can recruit. He's a dog on the trail. I think they're starting to fork out a little more NIL money now, starting to put the money to use. The kids he's getting, a lot of them aren't as NIL oriented, with the mindset. So that's a good thing to see. There's still some kids out there that aren't complete greed. So anyway, guys, I just want to put a little recruiting update out there about the guys coming up later this month and some predictions. This will probably be my last recruiting video, except for when guys pop. We'll talk about the kids that commit and put a post up so people get the news. But other than that, we're going to start getting into the roster and the season ahead, guys. Go Gators.